Sit it, tat, 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 tat. Sit it, tat, 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 chicka, 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 tat. Zoom, tat, tat, tum, tum, 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 tum. It's Titan in the morning. Zibba dibba tat, tum, tum, tat, tum, tum, tat. Sibba dibba tat, tum, tum, tat, tum, tum, tum. Sibba dibba tat, tum, tum, tat, tum, tum. Sibba dibba tat, boop, boop, boop. Boom, 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 Titan in the morning. It's 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 Titan in the morning. Titan in the morning. Hi, my name is Titan Capri. I am a black gay man living with HIV and celebrating 20 years of thriving in my diagnosis. Titan in the Morning is an inclusive space for your morning wake up. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. We come in and we say good morning because we love all the O's and R's and INGs. Then we grab our cups, put the topic in the cups, and then we sip. You will get a space and a place where you can be who you are just the way God made you, along with some breathwork breathing. And not to mention some movement with the Titans groove. Sit it, tat, 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 tat. So come on in to this inclusive, brave, and safe space where we like to say good morning to our village, tribe, gang, and chosen family. The place to be is right here with me. I will see you there. Good morning. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Wait. Oh, when it's good, it's good. Good morning. Hey, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Y'all come on in. Y'all know what today is. Now, look, I know that I'm normally Tuesdays and Thursdays, but today is a special day. It's National HIV Testing Day. And then we are talking about today is the last day of the series of our Chosen Family series. And it's only right, that I start with my chosen family, which is the normal anomaly. You'll hear me say TNA, but it's the normal anomaly. My chosen family, this is how I got started. This is how I came into the game, all of that good stuff. So y'all, it's only right that we have them come on, talk about the great and wonderful organization that they are, but also testing, right? Why testing is important. They're going to talk about chosen families, right? Because all of them are part of my chosen family, but that's how we're going to get down today. So I know I'm not normally on a Friday. I get it. But today is special, right? Today is special. Hey, good morning to you, Pause Impact. Hey, Josh, good morning. Hey, TikTok over there. So y'all go ahead and grab your cups, right? Get you some libation because we're going to have a good old conversation this morning. But I want to say to y'all this morning, before we get started, good morning. Hey, good morning to you. Hey, TikTok, I want y'all to tippity tap, 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 tap the middle of that screen over there. Let me know that y'all are in. Come talk to me. YouTube, Facebook, Insta, Podbean, X, all of y'all over here this morning. I need y'all to come on in and come talk to me this morning. And then we're going to figure out why is important. Hey, Dina, good morning. Why is it important for you to get tested? Yeah, we're going to talk about it this morning. Okay, y'all come on in. So I want to do this because we're going to have a normal anomaly on. And I want y'all to grab y'all cups, right? I want y'all to grab y'all cups. And I want y'all to tell me what's in your cup and where you're from. What's in your cup and where you're from? Y'all come on and let me know while I get ready to bring them on here this morning. We're going to talk about testing. Hey, Angela Hawkins, good morning. Good morning to you. Hey, Daryl, good morning. Hey, T, good morning. Good morning to you. Okay, y'all better come in and say good morning to me. Y'all go ahead on and show them some love. Show us some love this morning. Okay, look. All right, y'all. Let me go on and get past my. Let me sip real quick because The normal Nami gonna come in. They're gonna give y'all the 1, 2, or 2-piece and a biscuit and all this good information. Y'all gonna need this right here. So let's go ahead and sip real quick. You want to sip? Ooh, yes, indeed. Hold on. All right, y'all. I'm sipping too much this morning. I just want to go ahead on and just say, good morning. Yes. Look, we're going to be prideful. It's Pride Month. Pride Month is coming to an end. However, we are proud 365, 24/7. That's what. Okay. Look, you better say it. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. I am proud, and we're going to be proud. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and get started and bring my people on so we can be respectful of their time. Hey, Barbie. Good morning. Hey. Good morning. Hey, cousin. Good morning. Hey, good morning to you all. So I have 3 members of the TNA, the normal anomaly, right? And they're going to come on and they're going to give you who they are and what they are. They all out there doing big things and all of that good stuff. But I want to say good morning to the originator. To the originator. I call him brother, but he is the originator of TNA. It is the executive director. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure. I'm gonna introduce him and then I'll have him tell his title, right? That's what I'm gonna do. All right, y'all. Y'all give a good old Titan in the morning. Good morning to NL Haddock.
Good
NL Haddock.
morning.
Yes.
Good morning. How are you?
Yes. I'm good. How are you?
A bad bitch?
And that part. Okay, I told you he was gonna give his title. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Didn't I
Yes.
tell you? Well, Ian, can you let the individuals know, let the people know, let our chosen
Yeah.
family know who you are for
Yes.
TNA, for the normal anomaly?
Absolutely. My name is Ian L. Haddock. I have the privilege of serving as the founder and executive director of the Normal Anomaly Initiative, an organization where we center the experience of Black LGBTQ people to eliminate barriers and create new norms. So, very excited to be on Titan in the morning. Been
Yeah.
around Titan for years, over a decade now. And
Ooh.
just super excited to just explore National HIV Testing Day, but beyond that, like just have a good time in the morning.
Yes, indeed. Now, Ian, you can't be telling them all about our business. That's 10 years. That's that's it. But no, but welcome on. Hey, Julia, good morning. So I'm gonna bring on next. I'm gonna bring on. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on a second. Oh, okay. Okay, look, I was like, y'all don't start no mess with me this morning. They were talking about. Oh, okay. It's just pausing a little bit. Okay. Ooh, it's buffering. All right, y'all. So I'm going to bring on Jordan Edwards next. Hey, Jordan. Good
Hey,
morning.
good morning. Good morning. It's good to be here.
Yes, indeed. And Jordan, who and what are you to TNA, to the normal anomaly?
So, my name is Jordan Edwards, and I am the Deputy Director at the Normal Anomaly Initiative.
Come on, deputy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little
We
something.
bucking. We bucking. Yes, deputy.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Well, welcome in and thank you for being here this morning.
Oh,
And
thank you.
then I'm going to bring in, last but surely not least, the icy girl, city girl, hot girl, Miss Joelle. Yes, indeed.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Titan.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm good. I'm good. Happy to be here on a Friday on National HIV Testing Day. I'm good.
Yes, indeed. Now, Joelle, let me do this, right? Let you introduce yourself the way that you normally do, right? So tell us, who is Joelle and what is she to TNA?
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Joelle Espew. I am the advocacy director at the Normal Anomaly Initiative. I am also, as Titan alluded to, the hot girl, icy girl, city girl, material girl.
Yes, that's it. That's it, y'all. I tried to get it right. Y'all saw that. I
You
tried to get
almost,
it
you
right.
almost had it.
I almost
You
had it.
got
I
it.
almost had it, but I said, let me let her tell you, right? And that's how we're gonna do that. Everybody said, hey, good morning, TNA. Good morning. Okay, y'all. So y'all know That's what I call them. So out in the streets, I'll be like the normal anomaly, but I call them TNA all the time. Be TNA. Who is that? The normal anomaly. They said good morning to you all, the normal anomaly. Um, Jennifer said, "Hey Ian, hey
Hey,
Ian." Um, Okay, hey Titan Capri. Hey, yeah, they hated me too. Hey, good morning to you all. Yes, the normal anomaly is out of Houston, Texas. They're going to express that information to you all. But yes, we are here in Houston, Texas. Good morning to you all. Good morning. So TNA, we had a series this month of chosen families, and we wanted to know the importance of a chosen family. And seeing as that you all are part of my chosen family, I want to ask that you all let um, everyone know why is chosen family important, and what does it mean to you. And I want to start with the icy girl, city girl, hot girl, Joelle. Joelle.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for starting with me. I think when I think about chosen family, I was thinking about this question. I think about how oftentimes your chosen family are the first ones to see you authentically, to help to create that brave space, especially as Black queer people. I think your chosen family are sometimes the only space where you can be unapologetic and authentically you and really instill added joy in your life.
Indeed. Come on, look. That was almost like a pageant answer. Okay, look. I'm gonna sit up here and tell you exactly what it is. That was like a pageant answer. Thank you so much, Joelle. Jordan, what do you feel about that?
Honestly, I think that chosen family has been so important to me because when you have individuals that you can come to spaces with, work with, go to conferences with, or just deal with what we deal with on a daily basis, it feels like a family reunion, even when we're having pride. And I think that it keeps us having hope and keeps us motivated to keep going. And so I think chosen family has been done a lot for me. It makes me feel good every day.
Indeed, come through, come through. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Y'all better be on here and be that organization and come and give those clear and concise answers to a question. Indeed. Hey, Ian. So, Ian, what do you feel, Ian?
yeah, that's good. They kind of stole my thunder. Thank God for good media training. Okay. So y'all know this, but your audience probably does not. I've been around chosen family since I came out at 16. And for a while I was without family, without a connection to my biological family. And so all I had was chosen family for maybe over a decade, now 2 decades. I'm kind of more connected to my family, my biological family. But I think about,
Mhm.
had it not been for a chosen family, where would I be? So churchy, child. But had it not been for
I
a
love
chosen
it.
family, had it not been for um, people, a community coalescing around me, building a coalition on the behalf of Ian to make sure Ian could sustain, Ian could um, make a path, create a way, right? It is those people that have created the being that I stand in this moment, and I am the next up to do that for someone else. So I think chosen family, what I want to point out is that chosen families are not just the people who support us, but we should be replicating that. Often we don't
Yes.
talk about how we need to replicate that. Oftentimes we benefit from the coalition of a chosen family without
Mhm.
planting another seed, right? So just being clear that um, for many of us, chosen families are the reason why we exist. And so, like, how are we paying that forward?
Exactly, exactly. And thank you for that because I think a lot of times people really don't understand how we need to pay it forward, how we need to push it. Yesterday, I had on Tana, and Dina on the show yesterday, and we talked about legacies. We talked about what we're actually leaving. Not behind, but what we're actually setting up, as you said, planting those seeds, and then how it's going to go forward to those individuals that come behind us. Because one day, right? Not no day soon. One day soon is going to be a new slew of younger individuals, more sexier and finer and more bad bitchy than Ian over there. That's going to come through and do what they do, right? And so I think it's important for us to have that. So that's going to segue right into TNA. And then, Ian, I know you just talked about chosen family, but why is TNA, why is the normal anomaly so important for chosen families and then also for National HIV Testing Day? I know that's a loaded question, but yeah.
No, that's good actually. That's good. You didn't woke me up, child. We had a long night last night, so here we are. Um, so the normal anomaly, I can't say that the normal anomaly is important. I think that's for the community to say.
I'll say it.
Um,
Important.
I think the community has said the normal anomaly is important because we do community work, we do community centered work, and we try to, as much as possible, allow community to lead our work, so that our work can be important for them. Um, when I think about how the normal anomalies work benefits me, um, like as a person and as a human, uh, I love waking up and going to work.
Oh,
Um,
come
and
on.
that was always my desire. My deepest desire was to do something not just like meaningful. I think that's important, but to get paid to show up somewhere that I love and that I love the
Mm,
people that I work with and that they are a family that of course everything is not always perfect, but I bet you it's the most functional relationships most of us have.
now, now.
And so
Okay.
and so I think as a person doing this work, the work is not easy. The people that you serve don't always see it, because they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to see like the inner workings of everything. But sometimes that makes it difficult when, there are things going on. But I would say that like I love waking up every day. I love going to see these two faces and the other faces that we work with every day. Um, I love the relationships I have with the people that I work with. Um, we are very interconnected. All of us are very interconnected, and it's beautiful. And when
Indeed.
I think about like National HIV Testing Day, as it relates to our work at the Norma Anomaly, we're all about like eliminating barriers and creating new norms. And so I think National HIV Testing Day is great because we've tested, I think, probably almost at least 150 people or so over the last 2 weeks.
Wait a minute.
Um,
Hold up, wait a minute. Hold up, wait a minute. Let's pause it right there just for a second, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, TNA, Mr. NL Haddock. You tested how many individuals?
about 150 people. I
And
don't
how
have the
long?
actual number because we were testing last night also. So I don't have the final number,
Right.
but yeah.
And then what's the time frame?
Oh, in the last two
You
weeks, we
said two
started
weeks?
2 weeks.
See, and this is why we're saying, like on National HIV Testing Day, that testing is important, right?
Yeah.
I always say this that I don't think there's anything sexier than knowing your status. So this organization is saying to you, hey, we are out here testing so you can know your status, right? Your sexual health. All of these things play a part in community and why TNA is what TNA is, right? And so Ian did said it earlier. I'll say yes, indeed. Give them two claps and a snap and a circle and all of those things because they've been kicking tail and taking names, right? And not just because I started there, but they didn't been on Jennifer Hudson, they didn't been on front of magazines, they didn't been on CNN, they didn't done. Look, look. Okay, y'all show them some love. Give them some hearts, some claps, some snaps, and all of that because that's what matters, right? And then it breaking, right? We are breaking, right? So we can't do it the same way we've been doing it, right? We got to break those norms. Like, okay, look, that's normal over there, right? But the normal anomaly is going to do it this way, right? And you said that y'all had an event last night. Can Joel or Jordan talk about the event last night? Which one of y'all? I'm
Yes.
sorry, I've kind of put y'all on the spot.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
We had a great event last night. It was a huge turnout. It was for National HIV Testing Day, but it was also an opportunity for people to get floor seats for the Cowboy Carter concert. So we had a little raffle.
We bucking.
Uh,
We
yeah,
bucking.
we booking. We're doing a
Okay.
lot of things out there. So in the midst of testing people, they came because they wanted to be celebrated. They came because it was not just Pride Month. It's not just that Juneteenth has passed, but it's just that I actually just want to come around our community and be supported. So during the event, we had about, I would say, 140 people in the
Ooh,
building, and we had
ooh.
people coming to see DJ Cedric turned it down.
Yes, yes.
And then we had Miss Chalet,
Well, I hate I couldn't
which
be
is,
there. Dang
I
it.
mean, you could have been outside. You could have been outside
Yeah.
with us. And then we had Miss Chalet, which is the number one individual who actually is that does this Beyonce like no other. And
Yes,
she turned it as
yes.
well. She came out with an outfit and everybody was enjoying the show. And I think that what we got from it was there was a line. They had to set up so many different areas to test and make new spaces because people so excited. And then they rode the bull. We had a mechanical bull for
Yeah.
people to jump on and ride the bull.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, and that's what I'm talking about. You gotta break. Look, come on. Y'all, they were bucking last
they were
night. I
bucking.
couldn't make it last night, and I do apologize, but bucking. They were out there bucking. Joel, what was good about last night? I know the Beyonce tickets is number one, right? I get that because I won me a couple myself. But what was good about last night? I heard Jordan say that it was a lot of people. They had to set up things. What was good about last night, Joel?
I think about when we think about chosen family, I think last night personified what chosen family
Mhm.
is for the normal anomaly. We as a first year liberator, we had a Liberator alumni cater the food last night. We had our Drag University class valedictorian not only
Yes.
open the show but host. We had many people from our transgender ally collective there, but we also had like various people in community that are parts of our
Mhm.
our not only chosen family but our blood family. And I think about last night was really about chosen family. It was about community.
Indeed.
We also had, at least half of the people, it was their first time coming to a normal anomaly event. So it was
Yes.
them experiencing, this music, this culture, and them embracing, our chosen family and what it means to
Mhm.
us.
Indeed, Joel. Look, let me tell y'all something. I don't know if they got together and practiced this on yesterday and said this is what they're gonna do on tight in the morning, but baby, they're giving these pageant answers like it is no tomorrow. But no, I think it is truly, truly great because I remember sitting with Ian years ago and talking about these ideas and talking about um, being impacted by things in the community and how they needed to change. And then fast forward years later, it's festivals, it's being on national TV, like doing the damn thing. You know what I mean? So I just want to say thank you to you all for continuously doing what you are doing and continuously showing up in community your authentic selves, because that's part of chosen family. Like a lot of times people say it, like Ian said earlier, they don't see the background. They don't know what's happening over here, all of the slips and misses and and things that have been canceled and all of those things. But front facing, right? We're here for community. And then, Joel, for it to be half coming out for the first time, seeing a normal anomaly event, being there, right? Like that's something that I just want to applaud you all on. I know that we're going to get into National HIV Testing Day, but let me just shoot some flowers y'all way really quickly. A lot of times I will bring friends and family, chosen family, with me to events, and they had no idea that this was going on, right? They would tell me, they would say, hey, Titan, you going over here? Oh, that's just another queer event, or that's just another LGBTQIA, the alphabet event, right? I don't really fool with them like that if they speaking like that, but you know what I mean. So they were saying, okay, well, I'm going to come. And then they're like, oh, then they meet y'all. Then it's like, oh, well, when are they having the next thing? And when are they doing this? And what are they doing this for? Right. And so what I love about TNA, and I have always loved about TNA, that you all are on the forefront of what the community needs. You went out into community because you are community, and you asked the question, like, we see what's missing, but what is needed? And the community said, hey, we need these things. The Trans Ally Collective, right? We need the BQAF Festival, right? Black Queer Advancement Festival. However, you know what we say, right? Black Queer Advancement Festival. You know what I'm saying? Now, y'all, I'm trying to make sure I know that we can, say a little words on here, but they've been blocking me here lately. So I'm kind of, but it's one of those things, and it has grown. And so I just want to say kudos to you all. Kudos to you, Ian, for having the idea all those years ago, starting out as a blog and moving forward and doing all of those things. And then also too, making it necessary, right, for us to be seen, all aspects of our community. So I just want to give y'all flowers on that. Everybody, y'all show them some love. Go and check out the Normal Anomaly, just to make sure, because y'all, it's huge. It's huge. And don't get me wrong. Look, I'm saying we, but the Normal Anomaly is going to have some fun. They're going to be bucking. They're going to be doing it, dropping it down and bringing it up like it's hot and doing all the things that we do, right? Because we are community, but they're going to be that beacon, that light. They're going to guide you in the community. And I love you all for that. All right. I didn't say all that. Look, I don't want to just keep on beating, going on and going on. But the TNA is the shit. Okay. Just so y'all know. So today is National HIV Testing Day. And we're going to get into some questions real quick, maybe one or two questions, and have you all answer those about National HIV Testing Day, about stigma, trauma, things like that surrounding testing, and just be able to let the individuals know. But we're going to take a quick commercial break real quick, and then we'll be right back. All right. Y'all good? Hold on. Let me. So wait a minute. We got some. Yes, you didn't know TNA did all of that. Yes, indeed. They do all. I'm telling you, I'm going to have them drop how you can get at them. Talk about the drop-in center, talk about their location there in 3rd Ward. We're going to talk about all of that so you all can be aware of that. And yes, indeed. Okay. All right. Look, you ain't got to tell me you want to hear more from TNA. Yeah, this is my show. All right, y'all. Give me just a moment here. We're going to get us some commercials going, and we'll be right back. Maybe they're going to try to tell me how to run my own show. How they going to tell me how to run my show? No, man.
Please join host Titan Capri for Titan in the Morning on Bulletin Flight Radio. Your story, our station. Hi, my name is Titan Capri, and I would love to introduce you to the Titan Capri Experience merch. Have you been over to my shop to see all the wonderful items that I have for you? Let me tell you, I have the Titan in the Morning mugs, socks, tote bags, candles, and t-shirts. I even have a Titan Capri Experience insulated 40-ounce travel mug. Yes, I did say 40 ounces. So hop on over and check out all the goodies that I have for you. Also, if clicking the link is not for you, you can scan the QR code and it will take you to my TikTok shop where you can do all the shopping that you would love to do. Go on over and check me out for the link, the QR code, but either way, it will take you to the destination, which is my Titan Capri Experience shop. See you there.
All right,
Come
y'all.
on,
We
shop.
back. Huh?
Come on, shop.
Okay, got a little shop. I got a little something. I got a little something. And y'all, I thank y'all so much for all that y'all are doing with the shop. I appreciate it. I tried to be, professional and have a little commercial and stuff, have a little commercial. Hey, Reggie. Hey, Sickaroo, Jackson Ross. That is the valedictorian of the class that hosted last night, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Of
Hosted
Drag
last night.
University.
Yes, yes. And Joel, if you could for me with Sickaroo saying, hey y'all, this morning, can you tell us a little bit about Drag University?
Yeah, so Drag University is the first cohort from our Luminate program. So Luminate is our newest advocacy
Come on,
program,
Illuminati.
sponsored by Gilead Sciences, who also sponsored our Bucking event last night. And Luminate is about empowering community or subpopulations of our community to be advocates and to advocate for themselves. So the first cohort that we did was Drag University, which not only paid homage to the original Drag University that Ian started about 15 years ago with M Society, but what it did was it kind of expanded on that idea and brought it to like a newer generation of drag entertainers and performers. And so not only did they learn the fundamentals of drag, but they also learned about HIV advocacy, how to advocate for themselves. They learned about PrEP. They learned about the social drivers of health. And so, after a very intense 6 months, Reggie, aka Sickaroo Jackson Ross, came out as the class valedictorian, which was announced during our BQAF week.
Yes, yes, indeed, indeed. Now, y'all, so if you don't know that there's a lot going on, right? But if you see that there's all parts of the community happening with those items, with those things, with flagship programs and things like things that have not been before. But Joel said Drag University was like 15 years ago, right? And so they brought it back, right? And so what I said earlier is that they asked the community what was needed and this was needed, right? And so we want to say kudos to the valedictorian, Sickaroo Jackson Ross, right? Which is my sister, the to Emeritus Jackson Ross. I want to say congratulations to all of the individuals that were in the Drag University, and then for those for Sickaroo doing the thing, and then coming out, being the valedictorian, and then hosting your first event last night, right? Like that's really something special. And those are the opportunities that TNA is offering to the community. And we really appreciate that. Okay. All right. I got you over there, sis. Okay. I got you. It was an honor. Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Mm.
All right, y'all. So we are moving on. I want to be respectful of their time this morning. And so, one of the questions that I wanted to talk about with National HIV Testing Day is that if you could, Ian, let us know about testing options, right? Okay, so let me back up. Why is testing important? And then what are our testing options? Because people seem to believe that there's only one way to be tested. And so, yeah, if you
Yeah,
would for me.
I'll be quick. Mm.
Okay.
Testing is important because knowing your status is one of the singularly easiest things to do. Um, it's fairly easy. There are tests everywhere. Um, we'll talk a little bit about competing priorities later, because
Okay.
oftentimes um, testing is pushed on as a benefit to the community without looking at other competing priorities. As a normal anomaly, we try to look at the competing priorities with testing, so that you're not just getting tested, because oftentimes that's not the most important thing to you. Oftentimes, what's important to you is, can I get to work? Can I find a job? Can I get, my HRT? Uh, can I find money? Can I start my business? So on and so forth. And so we try to couple that with testing. And that's why our testing, um, our testing programs are so well, doing so well, and will
Okay.
continue to do well. Um,
Okay.
but aside from that, it's important singularly because it's easy, it's necessary, and everybody has a status. Um,
Yes,
this
indeed.
is not just HIV. It's also with STIs and STDs, right? Everybody has a status, and it's important to know what yours is. Not,
Yes.
but not from a stigmatizing place, but from a place of, if I have the knowledge of whatever that status is, reactive or non-reactive, then there there's science that says that I'll be okay if I choose to,
Indeed.
right? And so there are a lot of
Speak.
different,
Speak.
but the in terms of the ways to get tested, of course there are brick and mortar places that you can go. You can order a testing apparatus off of off of a website. You can also go on Walgreens or CVS and purchase like a at-home test kit. We get them for free. Um, but
Y'all heard
one
that?
of my one of my favorite ways to think about getting tested is the at-home test. Right
Mhm.
now we have my lab box. We work with my lab box, and I think it's an 8-panel test. If you are a person that was assigned male at birth, one of the tests probably will not work well for you. It's for trick. But it's an 8-panel test that we offer completely for free. And you know, you can send it in. We generally send it in, and the results will come right to your phone. Um, and so it's a lot of innovation here. There's a lot of advocates that was like, no, people need to get their results in front of a counselor, but they don't. They don't. Everybody, everybody that's gotten reactive results has terror stories about how counselors have traumatized them more than the actual reactive result. So um, I love the innovation that's happening with the way people can get tested.
Indeed. I love it. I love it. Did y'all hear that? Right. There are different types of tests. You can do it in the privacy of your own home, right? It can come straight to your phone. You don't have to sit in front of somebody. Now, that may not be for everybody, but
Yeah.
these are the options that you have, right? So, Joelle, Icy Girl, City Girl, Hot Girl, tell the people why it's important to be tested, and then what ways that you see that the community needs to know about being tested. Ian just gave some options, but what are you seeing in that? Why is it important to get tested, and what options do you recommend to individuals when you're out in community?
Well, I think when I think about knowing your status and testing, I think what is being shown is the science works. So, knowing your status, getting on prep, like the science has actually been proven to work.
Mhm.
However, what we are seeing in our communities and people, like us that look,
Yes,
live, and love like us, we are still seeing new diagnosis of HIV. And so knowing your status and getting tested is power.
yes, it
It
is.
is taking your own sexual health and wellness into your hands, and it's really owning your body autonomy. And I think as people, we have a long history of not having body autonomy. I think about our newest direct service program, Prep Her, which is a program that centers sexual health and wellness and HIV advocacy for Black and Brown women across the spectrum of womanhood. And we tested over 100 women, and the majority of those women, it was either their first time getting tested, they had never even known about PrEP, let alone knew that it was for them. And what they did was when they got tested, they told a friend and they told their sisterhood and their circle to come
Yes.
get tested. So there really is power in getting tested and knowing your status, because the science works. And so if the
Indeed.
science works, then as a community, it's up to us to really own our sexual health and wellness and be empowered to get tested and know our status.
Yes, indeed. Y'all keep hearing these pageant answers. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Look, don't play with the normal anomaly. Stand them, get him a mic. It's on and it's popping. Now, Jordan. So the same thing for you, but Jordan, can you lend to the stigma and the trauma surrounding getting tested? Why is testing important? But is there stigma and trauma around getting tested?
Yes, there is stigma around getting tested. What I will say is what I have seen is that you can get a test quickly, but community is wanting answers, but they may be fearful of how they're going to receive those answers or what to do next. Like I may not have access to care. I may not have access or transportation to get to the next destination for my appointment. So those things are like, I don't know what's going to happen. Is it going to impact my job? Is it going to impact how my family sees me? So I'm just not going to get tested. Or my partner that I'm having sex with has told me that, oh, I'm good. I don't have nothing to worry about. So that means I'm good too. That's not the case. Your sexual health is your sexual health. Your status is your status. And so I think that there is stigma there. Um, I know we have talked about before, just in person, some people know about I'm done living with HIV. And I also had a experience when Ian talked about having a traumatizing experience with somebody giving results. I'm one of those people.
See.
Um, it is a life-changing experience when somebody gives you those results, but I realized that I was already in a space of trying to navigate and find it. But once I got the answers, I was like, oh, okay, cool. So then what do I do next? What do I do next? And so if a
Right.
person is living with HIV, if a person is not living with HIV, it's what do I do next? And the options are there for you. Like Joelle talked about, the science is there. We have options to prevent us from having another HIV diagnosis. The science is there, the opportunities are there. If it's a pill or if it's an injectable, it's there. So the stigma is in the barriers and also how people look at HIV in the first place. If we can take it as just, okay, I'm living with HIV, but I'm taking care of myself, you have nothing to worry about when you engage with me sexually. So let's move on from there. What else you got for me? I think if we can get to those spaces, we'll be able to tackle the stigma. Because I know you asked me, is it stigma there and is it trauma there and getting tested? Yes, it is. But also we need the answers and the solutions to eliminate that.
Baby, let me tell you, if y'all thought that Jordan went last and Jordan wasn't gonna come around and seal that circle, did y'all catch it? I'm telling y'all these pageant answers, okay? You know, we love a good old pageant. I love this. I love this. No, but I think that it is important for people to know. Jordan stated again, as Ian and Joelle stated, that it's important for you to know your status. For you, not the other individuals. You don't need to know. Well, but you know what I mean. You don't need to know their status. You don't need to wait for them to know their status. Know your status. That's the important part. And then what do you do next? Because I can go and take the test, right? All three of them said basically it's around the science works, right? We have the knowledge, right? You build it, they will come. We know what will happen, but a lot of times it's that point of just taking the test, period. Knowing your status, period. That's the thing. And there is still trauma and stigma surrounding that. Some people don't want you to know their business. Some people feel like, oh, once it's real, once you tell me that status, then it's real. Now what do I do? Now where do I go? You can go over to TNA. You can go over to TNA and they can help you out. So no, y'all, thank you all for that, because a lot of times we don't know those things. I am 20 years living with HIV, and I'm still amazed at how much people do not know about sexual health, right? Or how many stigmatizing and traumatizing things that we are regurgitating over and over and over again, right? And so we are breaking that. We are stopping that. All three of them gave the pageant answer, but they told you what it was. So from here in the community, all the way to Jennifer Hudson, all the way to CNN, right? That's what it is. That's what it is. That's why TNA is on this morning, because they're gonna let you know the business. Yes, indeed. Sexual health is important. Yes. So I want to say this really quickly, and maybe if one of you would want to answer. They were saying that someone commented that it is important for you to know the other person's status, right?
Mm.
So do one of y'all want to take that and
That's actually what I was gonna talk about. And I hope my voice comes back for this. So I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I always get in trouble for this. I think disclosure is BS. I think that disclosure puts the onus on the person that can be most harmed, right, in every situation, right? Whether we're talking about trans folk disclosing, people living with HIV disclosing, people like it always put the onus on the person that can be harmed. And it's really a symptom and a driver of patriarchal design, right? Of slave master design, right? If you are in disparity, then you should have to come out and you should have to uphold and feel empowered because you are clean, because you are good, because you are uh, uh, because your health is in good condition, right? It's like all of these things, and so as a person, and I'm only qualifying who I am in this moment, not because I am trying to say I am good and that is bad. I want to
right.
qualify it because I want to interject that I am not a person living with HIV, and I am not a person of trans experience, right? But I understand that that is foolish, right? To create a world where they can be harmed and then say they need to tell someone that can harm them first, right? So disclosure was not created to benefit people that are marginalized. Let's start
Yeah.
there. The second thing I want to say about disclosure is that if you created a space where we could have people disclose, that would require you to create a space that's not just free from stigma, but free from harm. And how do you create that space? You create that space by giving people more bodily autonomy. When you give people more bodily autonomy, when you give them the space to say, I'm sexually fluid versus I have to be straight and I could be trans attracted, when you give them the space to say, it does not matter your status, right? Then we create a space that's safe for people to disclose. But guess what? When I have bodily autonomy as a person not living with HIV and not a person of trans experience, when I take my own bodily autonomy, it don't matter what you got between your legs. It don't matter who the top and who the bottom. Because guess what? I'm already protected, baby.
Mhm.
And so I think that we miss that conversation because we're so nosy and we don't want to take accountability. And that is not the way to support marginalized communities.
What them fans at? Yeah. Ooh, E Condola. I should have bought a Honda and a Testarossa. Let Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something. This is why I love TNA. This is why I love Ian, Joel, and Jordan the way that I do, because the reality of it is that y'all, time is out for us having the conversation, right? At a high level, right? It's time for us to be down in the ditch and covered in mud and say, this is where we're at. This is reality, right? We all want to give that PC pageant answer, yes, and world peace. But that's not what that was. Ian just told you, whether you're the top, the bottom, in between, all the way around, that's not it. Until you create spaces and places where we are safe and brave and we can actually be who we are, then stop asking us for that. Your status is your status, right? Know your status. Know how you show up. Know what's going on. And that's why testing is so important. You go to the doctor all the time, right? The doctor runs tests. But if I say that it's an HIV test or you're testing for HIV status, then all of a sudden there's a problem, there's an issue, right? When we all know that STIs are a thing. We all know somebody that knows somebody that had a STI. We know somebody that is HIV positive. I'm sitting on this broadcast. Go ahead.
Titan, statistics say not only do we know somebody, we probably are somebody, right?
That
That's what
part.
that's what statistics say. Statistics say that like I forget the percentage, but by the time you turn 40, you done probably had some type of STI, bro. You know, no cheat. But anyway, keep
No
going. I'm
shade.
sorry.
And I'll say no, that and no, I'm with you on that for real. And a lot of times people want to sit up here and say, "Oh, I'm not doing that," but you just slept with somebody last night. You didn't know their status, so they could have been someone living with HIV. They could have had a STI, right? So you know your status, and you be important with that. One thing I'm gonna say this really quickly, and then I'm gonna ask this last question so we can get out of here. But one time Ian told me, I said, well, Ian, I don't know. I don't know. So me and Ian, I call him my brother. We be having these conversations, and this is not a deep conversation. I'm not going deep into the conversation, but Ian told me, well, if you know your status, I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Because I was telling him that I had this individual that I wanted to be, I'm gonna be a little transparent this morning, that I wanted to be this way, but I'm someone living with HIV. And although I get my status checked, I get tested on the regular every time I see my doctor, I was worried about what would happen if I was not using a condom, right? This was early on in my when me and Ian first met, and I was like, blah, blah, blah. Ian was like, you know what's out there, right? You know what you can do. You can go over here and get a shot. You can go over here and do this. Do what you want to do. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to do that. That's going to do this and do that. And then here I am holding myself hostage because I'm worried about what somebody else is doing, right? And then if I truly want to be in that moment, top, bottom, sideways, up and down, then that's on me. I need to know my status and know how I show up, right? That's why I say now that there's nothing sexier than knowing your status. There's nothing sexier than you having full autonomy over your own body and saying, this is who I am and this is how I show up. But also that knowledge and understanding to know that if something does happen, if there is a reactive, then you know what to do afterwards. Like Jordan was saying, what's next? What's next? And then if the science works, if the science is giving you the information and telling you, right, then that's what we should have. That's what we should know. And the reason I love TNA in this space of community is because it's straight up with no chaser. You feel what I'm saying? They don't want nothing. They don't even want no ice cubes in that, right? And that liquor right there. They want it straight with no chaser. So you understand what that's at, because I can sit here and give the pageant answers all day long. Yes, world peace. But am I really giving you the information? Am I really answering the question? Am I really representing my community? And I don't believe that we are. I believe that we hold fast to those norms that if we just close our eyes and pull the cover over our heads, everything will be okay. And that's not the way that it is. National HIV Testing Day is a National HIV Testing Day for a reason, right? And I think it's important for you to know your status. All right, y'all. Valerie said, preach that. Marco said, just because you have HIV, don't let HIV have you. Your life experiences with HIV makes you an expert on HIV, how you live and survive. Fight to live, fight to survive, fight for your life. Indeed, Marco. Come on, you better get in there. Valerie said, preach that. Okay. Because, Ian was going in. Hallelujah, Bishop. And Reggie said, mic drop. Okay. Okay. So I think that we have to always understand where we are. So, y'all, I know we're coming down to the end of the hour. And so I want to ask this question to you all, and all three of you can answer if you want. I would love for that to be, what does the future of testing look like? Is there a testing model that you would like to see going forward? I'm going to ask the question one more time in the pageant form. What does the future of testing look like? Is there a testing model that you would like to see going forward? And I am going to give it to Icy Girl, City Girl, Hot Girl. We'll let her go first. And yeah, Joelle.
I think that's a great question to kind of end on. I think for me, um, I think continuing to lean into, stop going to the traditional spaces. Like, you know, queer men, while access may be not as much, people may say maybe it's not as much access, but queer men have access to testing, have access to resources. I think for me, it's leaning into subpopulations and communities that do not have access, that do not have the education. I think too many times, um, organizations and entities that do this work are merely doing it for a number, and they are going after the same number, the same populations, the same people. And I think if you are really about testing, if you are really about empowering people to know their status, then you have to go into populations and communities that don't have testing or don't know their testing options or have never been tested or don't even know anything about HIV or PrEP or anything. Those
Mhm.
communities look like Black cisgender heterosexual women. Those communities look like the Latinx community. Those communities look like, trans men, communities that oftentimes aren't sought after. And I think
Mhm.
that is where we will find innovation. That is where we will continue to see the holes in our testing model. And that's really the future, because I think going into those spaces, you are continuing to see the new ground zero of the HIV movement.
Yes, indeed. Come on, pageant answer. All right, so I'm gonna move on because I know we're at the 9 o'clock hour. Jordan, what you gotta say?
Yes, I'll make it quick. I think that from a emotion standpoint, I think that the future that I would like to see of testing, it is not done because of fear or because of being forced to. I would like to see it be something that you desire to do because you want to answer, and also is the access is easier. You can get it to
Yeah.
your house. You can go to a facility if you want to go facility, so you can be confident and get the next steps immediately. But also, I can do it in my home and process it for a second, and then decide I'm ready to go ahead and take care of that.
That part. Okay, you better come on with the quick answer. That's what I'm talking about. Like, we need to be able to have in the future, it doesn't have to look like you're going into a facility, you know what I mean, with white walls and hard metal tables and all that good stuff. All right, so Bishop, uh you're gonna come on and bring it on. You're gonna bring it on home for us, and then we're gonna go close out after Ian gives the last word, because that's what we gonna do.
No, I dream of a model where social drivers do not lead to HIV.
Yes.
I dream
Yeah.
of a model that testing is no longer required because we have ended the epidemic of HIV. I dream of a model that people live long, beautiful, thriving lives uh, when HIV is transmitted, and that they don't have to feel stigmatized, ashamed, embarrassed, or sexualized for their status. Um, and that requires changing the norm.
Yes.
It requires completely obliterating what has gotten us here. The reason why uptake for PrEP, the reason why we're not doing good, particularly in Black communities, also in brown communities in Texas. The reason why we're not doing good with PrEP uptake and getting people to undetectable is because we haven't figured out that a pill will not create will, right? It does not matter if science worked, right? It does not matter that science works.
Speak on
What
it.
matters is my competing priorities express to me what needs to come first, right? If my HRT is my priority, that's what needs to come first. If
Mm.
my employment is my competing priority, that needs to come first. And until we can mitigate that, we will not be able to end HIV. And lastly, really quickly, in order to mitigate that and end HIV, I want people in advocacy to understand this, whether you are in HIV advocacy, LGBTQ advocacy, Black advocacy, brown advocacy, whatever your advocacy is, if you're in environmental justice advocacy, whatever your advocacy is, HIV is the symptom, not the disease. In other words, HIV comes because of poverty. HIV comes because of environment. HIV comes because of lack of education. HIV comes because of lack of employment. HIV comes because of the zip code I sit in. HIV comes because of the dirt that's in the ground that causes cancer, right? Like all of those things are factors that drive people to contract HIV. And so no matter what your advocacy looks like, no matter how uncomfortable you are talking about HIV, if you do advocacy, you do HIV advocacy. And we are going to need everything in the next 4 to 10 years. If we plan on ending this epidemic, we're going to all have to come together uh, to mitigate these social drivers that will then decrease the numbers for HIV.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Uh, let me tell y'all something. This is why I love TNA. This is why I love the community that I serve and that I work in, because we know what it is. We know what it is. And we're not afraid to be on the forefront and talk that ish, speak that stuff, right? Because a lot of times you want to make it pretty, you want to make it cute, and all of those things. Ian just broke it down. If you want to do this, right? The reality of it is you don't want to do it, because that means that it has to be real. That means that you got to say that this is not working. This is not happening the way we're losing people, right? We are, there are people that I've been living with HIV for 20 years. There are people that are no longer here that I wish could have had this, what we have this
Mhm.
morning. So I want to say thank you to TNA. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for answering the chosen family call and being here for me and others in the community. And I want to say TNA is a huge thing. TNA is a big thing. TNA is a big old ball of necessity that you can't just walk straight forward through the door. You got to turn to the side and squeeze through that mug that is so big. So I just want to say thank you to you all. I appreciate you. And yeah, I appreciate you. National HIV Testing Day. We're going to get out of here because they got to go do some work in the community. But thank you all so much. I appreciate you. And then lastly, if y'all could just hold on just for a quick second while we end. Everybody, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time is Titan in the Morning. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. Know your status. Go get tested. And if you are feeling some kind of way, TNA is right over there for you. I'll post their information. TNA, the Normal Anomaly. All you got to do is Google it. Type it in, and it's going to come up. The Normal Anomaly Initiative. Right there. Thank you all so much. Y'all have a blessed day. Thank you all for being who you are in the community. And I will see everybody shortly. See you all next Tuesday. Take care.
Hey, we had a good time, didn't we? We would like to thank you for tuning in today and thank you in advance for tuning in the future. If you would like to contact me for any questions, comments, and or concerns about the show, the community that I serve, and the advocacy work that I'm doing, please scan the QR code above or send an email directly to titan.capri@gmail.com. Now, if that doesn't work for you, just put Titan Capri in any search engine or bar, and I am sure that you will find it. Until next time, y'all be great.